Six fold. Seven raise 40. One fold, see two fold. Fold, four fold. Thank you.
No, I made a noise, but it wasn't you. I went like that. Fuck, your hearing is good. It's definitely good. It's probably pretty well.
Fold. Seven fold. 40. One raise 40. Two fold, two three fold. Thank you. Four fold. Five calls, change, heads up. Five check. One check. Check. Check.
Reminder, we are currently overlaying in this satellite 3 seats guaranteed, just 14 entries, 1 in 8 will walk away with a $1,500 main event seat. Speaking of the main event, one seat is underway for that $400,000 guarantee showcase event, 3 tables and play. Buy directly or head on over to the satellite to try and get yourself a cheaper seat into the main event.
One bet's 80.
Registration open in the satellite for another 40 minutes.
When's redraw 16?
Yeah. 1 in 8 wins a $1,500 seat.
Seven fold. One fold, two fold. Three fold. Thank you. Four raise, 40. Heads up. Check.
$45.
45, so 4 bets. Blinds, please. Heads up. 7 check.
Oh, sorry.
2 fold, 3 fold.
Me?
Yep. 4 fold.
Moving me?
Heads up. Check. One check. That's 80. 80. We're losing heat to like. Good luck. Good luck. Quick question. This table stands on the table for a reason, it's just not for you. It's like it looks like you're holding the table. No. Keep on it, yeah. Raise 40. Raise. Keep raise 100. Six raise, 280, 280, 7 fold, see 1 fold, 3 fold, see 4 fold. Right.
Moving on up.
Huh?
Moving on up.
Yeah.
Double chill.
You're still fucking high with it.
Thank you. Five fold. Six fold. Seven fold. So one raise 45. 3 fold. Four fold. Check. Heads up. Four check. Three raise 40. Four fold. Five folds. What's up?
Guys, play forward. What number are you, Spot? You're being blinded out.
Check.
You good to go, guys?
80,000.
80. Three bets 80.
Lines at 200, 200.
Five folds. I always get the button wrong. Thank you. Oh, sorry, bro.
That's alright. Thank you.
Oh, it's 1 hour plan.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, maybe just take a 10% share of that. Seven raise, 40,000. One fold. Three's all in. See four fold. Five fold. See six fold. See seven call. Good luck.
You got ace 8? Ace 7.
Get open big shit.
Yeah, deeply inside the ice because otherwise I would definitely not run like that. No, I'm not talking about the break. I'm talking about the He's a weird body guy.
Big one, big one. Maybe I just like everyone more.
That works if you like everyone. Yeah. I'm happy with that. That's actually the best scenario.
See one fold. See four fold.
calls. About 60. Four folds. 5 folds. Six raised 40,000. Three runners. Two, 7 check. 1 check. 6 bets 55. 7 folds. Calls. Heads up. 1 checks.
One falls.
Regulars and players in the mid-stage championship lines are up. 1, 2, 2, please. 1, 2, 2 in the mid-stage, please.
Excuse me. If it changes. All in. Four's all in. To one falls. Lucky chip. Careful what you ask for. Let's say it's lucky. This range 40,000. 7 fold.
Players in the room, we are overlaying currently in our satellite with 15 minutes left to register. Main event satellite, three $1,500 seats in the prize pool. 1 in 8 wins a seat. We just have the 17 entries total remaining. So overlaying
1 second.
7, 8,
4 folds.
3 people are guaranteed to walk away with the main event seat. 10 players remain. Just a field of 17 with 15 minutes left to register. $220 to enter. Registration shuts in just over 15 minutes time. Enter the retro desk now. And get yourself in with a chance to get a high value opportunity.
One that's 40.
大概差不多200万，不到。
Alrighty guys, we're going to come around and finish all your seats. Cooper, Melbourne, feature table, seats 2, 2,
Oh, really?
5 too many. 110, so it's got one. I just fold that, so
Do we have to put the cards here? For how long? It's enough?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is Vista. We are doing a $150 split directly into the main. 10 seats. Put your hand up if you'd like to start on the first today. $150, 1 and 10 seat into the main.
Do you know how much roughly you're playing? Like 1.9? Something like that? A bit less, you said?
3 seats.
Backing up, got a Clipper in the 39.
No more coke. You can.
Thank you.
You know what's funny, Cooper? When I started playing Catan back home, when I came back home, my girlfriend became addict. She's paying more than me. And she's still a thing as well, so that's so funny. I was like, now you understand. You play a game that you lose 80% of the time, now you understand more. It's like, I don't know how you do it. Wow. I play Catan to get rid of that, you know, like bad juju and stuff. I'll be like, it's actually helpful.
Alright, C1, Jim, Jeff Corral. C2, Jason. 96 Seat 3 leads King Jackpot. Seat 4 with Murat is 29. General Seat 1, 25. Chase in Seat 6, 83 suited. Jackpot suited. Jet in Seat 7, Jacob. 5, 6, Ali in the Ace 4 and Matthias with 39. King 5, 3, Rainbow. King Jack is ahead. King Jack is definitely ahead. And Seat 3 to lead. And Seat 10 Matthias. We have two V9s. We are going to see a replay. Two people. We've got Murat and Matthias. Going to see a secondary hand. Keep right on. Matthias with 6-3 off. 9-8-5. Terrified for the lead.
275.
On the turn, give a gunshot. No, Terrified is going to hold, and Murat is going to be sent into the main event.
280, no?
We're doing secondary flip here momentarily. If you'd like to flip, hold hand, 1 in 10, $150 straight into the main event with a guaranteed prize pool of $400,000. We'll be back here momentarily. Get more seats sold.
280. Yeah.
Yeah,
244 in the mid stage, please.
Okay. Good.
Alright, so the seats into our second main event field. $150, 1 in 10, $400,000 guarantee. Main event, $1,500 ticket up the road, back in, walking around. So if you'd like to buy a seat, please raise your hand.
get the time banks?
Alright, still got 5, 6 up. Main event. Guys over Vista, $50.
Nice answer.
To the main event.
I also had one of those.
Ma? Can you give me?
Seat sold at 40 goes, $150, 1 and 10, straight to the main event with the 200,000 team.
We just got a 10-9 street for saving. It's like, oh, you know. Nice. It cost myself money because it's a bad turn on the river and I worked out much better, but I believe in you.
One more person, $150 in this split. Main event split, one more person. Sergeant, over here, buddy.
And it's a good evening from the Bella Vista Hotel here in Sydney. Harvey Silver joining you. Thought I'd hop in early. I'm here anyway. Gonna get the commentary going after the next break, but as I said, I'm here anyway, and we're already down to 16 players in this big buy-in event, Goliath. So here I am. Most of you probably sitting there watching with the volume down, but for those of you who aren't, I hope you've enjoyed the last hour or so, or a bit longer. We've had this stream going myself watching the stream, but catch up myself. Obviously some big names on this feature table. We're sitting next to each other there. Daniel Hashem, the ace-7. Short here too. And in fact, he pushes all in. He's that short. He's through, and he is. Okay. Valuable. Still not desperately short. Some big lines.
I don't think he did.
Angel
Yeah.
Goliath. Right up the top there with
Yeah, should be 20.
9.
That's the rule.
All the way through, but he's quite happy with Angel when he's in Australia.
You're blind.
Australianises it, of course, the partner of Lynn Gilmartin, host of the World Poker Tour.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't mind it.
But that's, I had exactly the same scenario yesterday in the drag race, like exactly the same. Like I got,
Chance that
I
Lynn
lost a bit of
is chipping in.
because of that. So today's my chance.
Partner at work here, he's doing real well with the biggest stack at this table at the moment as Romain picks up Cowboys here. So with a very healthy stack.
Nope.
Oh, and Daniel is going to be in strife here. This is all going in.
Hey, yeah.
There's Jack of Hearts. It is. No, it's not all of it. Yeah, it is all of it. Okay. Only going to be all of it.
Double checking, but
There you go. My audio might be a little bit better here too as we join
double check is like up and
with Daniel Hashem at risk here with the ace-jack against the Kings. Oh, wow. So that's not a great... He's pretty much done here. Daniel is going to need not a 5. So just as I sit down, Daniel gets up and leaves. Well played. He's out in 16th. I'll give you all the background on this event shortly.
bro, like it's not
Harvey
like it's
Silver
the
joining you
biggest
here.
final table.
Potentially on my own through to the
they
next
did
break that's coming up, and then we've got a cavalcade of guests coming in as we take this one through to at least the final table, perhaps beyond, just depending on how rapidly we get through this.
I don't know, I didn't know.
As you can see up in the top right corner, 100 starters here, 100 binds. Fantastic field for this 2.5K bind event. And finished up with well over 200K in the prize pool, which was the guarantee, about 225,000 I think in the prize pool. Those calculations will be right, of course. And we're down to 15 now. We've lost another one. Romain backs his kings up with an ace queen. Angel with the ace jack. 2 big stacks here. Let's see how they're going to clash. It's just a call. $25K more. These 2 suited. So on the discount, we get a call here as well. 3 ways to the flop. All 3 players holding an ace. Great flop for Angel. Hitting the jack. Check. Round to remain. He checks 2. It's going to come to Angel, who will not check. He's just going to figure out how much he can put in here and keep him interested. It's a bet of 70k. It's top. When it's got the back door flush going with the ace, so he's going to have another, just see him up, see what comes out here. And what a great decision, because the queen comes out and all of a sudden remains miles in head. You can see there the percentages just next to their names. It's 97% from here, which basically means that Angel needs a jack and there's only one left in the deck. Remains checked it over to Angel. Now, he's betting, I think, for value here, so he's bet 140. Little does he know that that turn card has made him a huge dog. He's kept it neat. Just the call. 4. Here's the board, but it's inconsequential here. Remain checks. Feeling Angel might just check this too. He's unsure that he's got it with the jack. Be a good check if he can find the check here. He does. He's going to get the bad news. Mucks his cards. Nice little win there for Remain again. So back-to-back pots. And he's vaulted to the top of the chip count. So this is the Goliath. This is the Australian Poker Tour's big buy-in event here at the Bella Vista Hotel in Sydney. 100 entries, as you can see up in the top right corner. Fantastic result, unbelievable result. 100 players, 2.5k buy-in. 15 remain. This is scheduled as a 3-day event, so it is scheduled to finish tomorrow. To be honest, I can't see it finishing tonight. But we may get beyond final tables. We're just going to see how we go with the timing. We're not definitely stopping at final table, I wouldn't have thought, if that's early enough. And of course, probably the most important bit of information we can give you is the payouts here. So it's 67,000 for our winner, 42 for second, 28, 20, 15, 11. Big prize money here in a big event. I'm also going to hear a lot of background noise here tonight. It is going to be busy, already is busy. You'll be able to see in some of my camera shots this auditorium that we're playing in. Big high ceilings, echoes around the place. Real sort of World Series of Poker feel about it. Zhang, pocket 10s. He's all in for his 460. It's another 400 for Stephen. Decides to fold the King Jack. So Zhang picks up a few really important chips there. He's already got a couple of fans on the chat, I can see. Go Zhang. And we're live across Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. And we get the chat of all three, so get on there. If you've got anything to ask, want to show your support for one of the players here. Any questions? I'm just doing my best to answer them. One thing I can tell you is that I will be joined after the next break, which is at the end of this level, by a cavalcade of poker luminaries. Had the pleasure last night of Shelley Hawley coming in with Liam Murray, and they took over the microphone, gave me a nice long break last night. Very entertaining, a lot of great feedback. Two of Australia's finest. Shelley is now an ambassador for the Australian Poker Tour. And they talked us through this State of Origin that's coming up on Saturday, and there's a lot of excitement around for that. It's got very little to do with prize money. It's all about representing your state. It's an opportunity to play team poker, which just does not happen, and we're going to have some of the clearly best poker players in the country representing their state. And there's also a international team, or an Aussies, adopted Aussies we're calling them. They're all living here now but starting off elsewhere, and Shelley is in that team from the UK originally. Joe Hashem's flying in tomorrow, I understand, to play on Saturday. Joe's been a bit crook. If you're watching, Joe, I hope you're on the recovery. Daniel, his son, who just got busted, also a bit crook, got here late. I'll tell you what, a lot of people who went to Vegas for the World Series of Poker came back crook. Had a couple here yesterday, you know, just getting over it.
Oh, there he is. You're here. Josh and I were going to come and
I'll tell you what, one of the blokes that I was just talking about who's come back crook from the World Series of Poker just walked into the booth. Hello, Didier. I was just saying, hang on, I was just saying, Didier, that Joe Hashem is a late arrival here because he's crook, and Daniel only got here today because he's crook, and you came back crook.
It's going
from
around,
the World
isn't it,
Series.
mate? Yeah. Hey, happy to be here.
Yeah. Your name came up because I was just talking about the excitement around the State of Origin, and
Yeah.
it seems to be something that everyone's really looking forward to. You're one of the men
couldn't be more
behind
pumped.
that.
You know, I feel like all the Origin players really started pouring in last night for day one of this event, the Goliath, that we're looking at now. And I couldn't be more thrilled. We got one in this hand here, Romain Moivin, who was very close to Player of Origin last year. Actually, he was the bubble boy, I guess you could say, for Player of Origin. He came second to the wonderful Travis Endersby, but just missed out on that title. And I know he's super excited to be back for Queensland this year. We've got Stephen Chu from South Australia on this table, the captain of the adopted Australians, Angel Guillen, WPT ambassador, and my boy Cooper Feltham, who's part of my team, New South Wales. So that's a really exciting table to come into. Where are we at? We're 15 left.
15 left, and your mate Daniel Hashem just got eliminated.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, just
My fellow ambassador.
by Romain, and Romain actually has had two big back-to-back pots here, and as you can see, he's vaulted himself right up to the top of the chip count on this table. But you're right, it's a stacked table, as you'd expect. This is, you know, the big buy-in event.
That's a great structure as well.
Oh, great
Moves
structure.
to 60 minutes on day two. We've listened to the players over the last few series. They wanted to sort of speed up the day one because we've been going a little bit deep into day threes in this. So they wanted to do 40 minutes on day one, and that's been very well received. And then for the purists, we've kept it 60 minutes on day two. So yeah, it's a nice balance. Wow, what a table here. This is a really exciting one.
This is I'm not going to say they rigged the redraw because they can't do that, but geez, we actually finished up with a real good table here.
Wouldn't blame him for trying to get these ones on the stream.
And the outside, the table's not too bad either, so no, we're going to have a really great final table. Maybe you can do a little bit of prediction for me with 15 left on.
I have to see the rest of the field.
No, I was going to say how long this is going to go.
Oh, well, they're actually powering through it. I thought it would be going more slowly, you know. It's still pretty early in the day, and to see us down to 15, look, I don't think it would on average finish, but there's definitely a chance it could finish today if they keep powering through and, you know, the players want to. Here comes Cooper with an all-in. Very standard. Just over 13 bigs there. Not a hand we particularly want to get peeled by. And I was going to think about it here with King Queen suited.
This is for everything. For Cooper, so he's
definitely a close one here for Anhel. I think King Jack suited would be in the bin immediately. Obviously, Ace King would be into the pot very quickly. Playing it just on the threshold, trying to figure out, you know, does Cooper have some min raises here? What is he just open jamming? How's my hand doing against that? And he is going to run it.
Look, such a pretty hand, King Queen suited.
Anhel doesn't like folding pretty hands, from my experience.
No, or pretty wives.
We're off to the races.
All right, so this is for Cooper's tournament here. Slightly ahead with the Ace Jack.
I'm very biased here for my New South Wales boy. But of course, Anhel's one of my best friends too, so I'm neutral. Well, that is about as good as it looks for King Queen suited on any given day of the week. Ace Jack's certainly not dead though. He'll be oh, okay. He's double gutted now.
Yeah,
so.
Picked up a couple more outs. You can see them up the top there. 6 outs.
Does not find one of them, unfortunately.
No, that was not where he wanted the jack. So we've just gone bang bang.
Back to your question, Harvey. It might well finish a little bit further, a little bit quicker than we thought. What a great thing to see Stephen Chu on a live final table. I don't know if you would know Stephen Chu too well, Harvey, but he's well regarded as the very best online poker player Australia has in tournaments.
I did not see that.
He doesn't come out very often, but that is what State of Origin does. It brings the big names, and I'm so excited to see him here, and indeed actually get to see how he plays on maybe the final table, but at least in the lead up to the final table.
I suppose.
I believe Jennifer won a satellite to this as well.
Satellited in.
Yeah, Jennifer Martin satellited in. I played a little bit of this event with her myself. She's so lovely and really exciting to have the story potentially, you know.
That's why you sound like it. Probably.
See there, out the back now. It's getting really busy in this room. It's going to be a massive
main
weekend.
event, mid-stakes championship, the mini PLO 6 Max as well. I've got a bit of everything cooking for everyone. It's going to be one of the biggest days of the week. I think tomorrow might be the very biggest. Or Saturday morning, I should say.
Bracing ourselves. Well, Saturday, obviously, we've got the State of Origin early, and the news for everyone who's tuning in is we're going to pick up the State of Origin right from the start. So we're going to do the whole lot. So tune in at midday, and
the vice captain's sitting will be right up there. One of the highest quality tables you'll be seeing in the country all year.
That's already enough.
Andy Lee has stepped up for the adopted Aussies. There was a late change there. Raymond Cassim couldn't get his flight back home from England in between 2 weddings, so we'll allow him. But couldn't ask for more than Andy Lee to be the vice captain of the adopted Australians team, a former State of Origin winner as well. But coming back to this hand that we've got here, 3-way. An open by Roman under the gun, call by Jennifer on the cutoff, and a defend in the big blind.
1.785 million.
Would be pretty wide for Roman to continue here, but he's going to take the range advantage and just press it against these two.
And he's not going to get rid of either of them, I wouldn't have thought, but depending on what the bet is here.
I think we'll lose Jennifer immediately, but I can't see King 5 of Diamonds going anywhere fast. Oh, Jennifer's peeled. Does not believe Roman immediately. Also, I'm just seeing we got the comment section here with some nice words so far. If any of you guys have any friends who you're sweating, feel free to let us know, or want us to talk about anyone in particular or anything, you know. We're here to answer questions, and happy to be with you. I'm Didier Guerin here with the wonderful Harvey Silva.
Thank you, mate. And the wonderful diamond comes off.
The wonderful two of diamonds as well. And it's not actually the worst card for Jennifer either if she had any kind of plans, but interesting to see what Romain thinks after not getting through either. I would always expect him to shut down. King 7 of clubs, absolutely zero interaction. Jennifer's just trying to get there. She's got the straight flush draw, but doesn't know that it's not actually possible.
Yes.
Definitely going to see some money go into the pot now by Yifeng. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Mr. Zhang.
Both get out of the way pretty quickly, I'd imagine, here. And unfortunately for Zhang, he hasn't really been able to max that flush. And oh, hang on.
Oh,
she's having a think.
I did think she was sliding them all into the middle, but those are her time bank chips, just so everyone knows.
Having a think.
Indicating that she's got, I think, all of them there. So she's got about 3 minutes if she wants to use all of them. They're 30 seconds each.
That was a bit weird to put them all in like that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to fold.
I do respect it as opposed to someone who tries to throw in the individual chips sometimes a little nefariously, I might say, Harvey. You know, sometimes it can look like they're calling or something like that.
And she did have a call, so
Jen
she's
has
going to
called
get
it
the
off.
bad news here. I was going to say that Zhang unfortunately didn't max that flush, but he did manage to get a few more chips out. So
leave it there. I'll come check it out there.
he, again, you know, really valuable chips there when you're down the bottom of the chip count.
What's that?
Bad news.
Stay alive. What were you in today? Anything?
Yeah, I played this actually,
did?
day 2 of the Goliath. I played with Jennifer, and I think that's actually, in terms of the table, the only person who I played with. But didn't last super long. I ran pocket fives into queens, you know, and that was all she wrote. I'm being attacked by anonymous people in the comment section, it seems. Just kidding, my fellow ambassador, Shelley Pooley.
I hope you're
questioning
on,
who I am.
Yeah, I hope you were on a little earlier, Shelley. I was pumping up your tyres from your commentary last night. I thought you did a great job. So.
I heard a little bit. She's fantastic. Heard a little bit with yourself and Liam, I believe, right?
She was on with Liam for about 3 hours and she was
Really?
exhausted.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Shelley. I'm kidding. I do love Liam in the box, actually. He's great too.
I think a lot of their stuff was the rundown of the players in the State of Origin. I think they probably went through everybody. So
Okay, good. All right. I know what's been covered then.
So Zhang picks up 10s. He had these
Yeah,
not
he's got a
that
bit of
long
steam.
ago.
And he's just decided to call. You'll notice a lot of players like to balance their strongest hands in the small blind here just by calling, and that allows them to, what we call, be more protected when they have weaker hands and want to limp those in as well. So you'll see in 2025 MTT poker, lots of limping from the small blind, rarely a mistake. And mate, the diamonds are back again, but so is top set.
Yeah,
Romain's
hit his
he's
top
going to stick
pair as
around
well.
with bottom pair immediately as well. Interesting to see how Yifeng proceeds on the flop here. Could probably do both. Yeah, he's decided to go for check, and I think Romain's just going to check this one back. He's got a diamond, so he's going to be able to realize a bit more equity.
Call from you.
I know my boy.
Oh, wow.
And this is a pretty disastrous card for Romain now,
And
because
this is my first quads of the tournament.
yeah, he
that
would
I've
have
seen.
expected a lot of naked 10s, like just a top pair to bet, or a 9 could also have bet the flop. A lot of draws also would have bet, so he may well think that he's able to just value bet a 6 here. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a bet from him, but he's just going to take the low variance approach and check back. Yifeng probably wincing inside that the now turn quads have seen no action. Interesting river coming. All right.
So just
I thought this would go on check, unless maybe we haven't seen a river.
I thought he'd check too, but
Maybe our graphic hasn't picked up the river
No,
yet.
no, it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure Romain checked.
this is going to happen every so often. The camera just takes a little while to come around, so we're going to get a bet and a call. So
okay, it was a brick river. So
Makes sense.
to be honest, I think Romain played that extremely well. Did everything he needed to do. Could have arguably bet the turn to his detriment, but Yifeng also a really interesting turn decision there. I think you can go either way on the flop between check raising or betting. Always interesting on the turn there when you just block everything and you sort of need to hope that blind versus blind that Romain's going to get out of line and just start barreling. So overall, I think they both played it well.
yeah,
But some people might ask why quads were played passively, and I think there's a lot of good reasons to have been setting the trap there. It just didn't necessarily work.
sure. Well, you know, you don't know. We know what the other player's holding. You know, if he's got absolutely nothing,
Exactly.
then you know you're going to bet out there and he's folding.
Yeah.
So hoping that he might get or have something, obviously, but you know, also maybe get a little bit frisky with it.
Nothing with quads.
Little stat for you, Stephen Chu, 6 World Championship of online poker titles.
It
Poker
is
Stars.
outrageous.
That is
I
pretty insane.
I just don't know him because
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
he never
see him
comes
play
to
live.
these live events, really.
Yeah.
He's a creature of the online streets, you know. I know him and Cooper met today, who we just lost recently to Angel, and they're really looking forward to battling each other tomorrow more than most in Origin. Might be some side action going on between those two. Cooper also considers him a creature of the online streets. We were in Vegas, and it's funny when you come to Las Vegas to play the WSOP, and he mainly played online. And he was the biggest winner from Australia on WSOP.com, but I think he made 3 online bracelet final tables, which was also a sterling effort by Cooper.
And I would be one that would question why would you go all the way to Vegas to play online, but there you go. Maybe you just like
It
the
worked out
joy.
for the kid. It worked out for the kid, yeah. We had our 25k draft team, Daniel Negranu's draft, and Cooper was there ready to be drafted, and one of the other teams stole him from us. So I think Cooper was also a little bit spiteful of it and didn't really want to give that team too many points. So at least from our end, we kind of respected it. What are we cooking here? Romain in the small blind this time. Getting a lot of blind v blind interactions on this table, which is quite interesting. Don't think we're going to see too much from him after this limp. Edwin ISOing the
Quick
ace
fold
4.
afterwards.
Edwin, I believe, was our runner-up in the vault to Joe Sandev, the $3,000 buy-in last weekend. And I know he got a lot of plaudits from our own commentators. I believe we had Josh Monk and Berkey on it for that one, and I actually really enjoyed watching Edwin play, I have to admit. He was going for it, he was finding the bluffs. I think I saw 3 all-in bluffs that all worked, and it was very entertaining to watch him. So not quite the same scenario, he's not the chip leader on this table, but he's still got plenty to work with. And yeah, keen to see more of him, honestly.
I was saying yesterday, if you're new to poker, this is a great place to learn because you just watch these top players. And I think the thing you learn quickest is actually the slowest. It's patience.
Absolutely, yeah.
You just realise how much patience you have to have, and you don't get hands every hand. So, you know, you've got to pick your spots and you got to know when to fold. I think last night, the Drakakis last night, that was a lesson in folding. We saw queens being folded pre-flop
Wow.
against kings.
Wow.
Jacks got
I saw
folded
Jacks
3
folded,
times.
yeah.
You know, and they're all behind. Every time they were behind. So
It is interesting because obviously these aren't just, you know, random adjustments from people being scared. It's actually them adjusting to, well, I guess I could say other people playing so tight.
Yep.
You know, it really does create these situations in tournaments where on a final table with big pay jumps where you are trying to make money as a player by laddering rather than knocking someone out, actually.
Yep.
That, you know, these thresholds can just be incredibly tight, and you can just, without having seen these hands that you've mentioned, you know, it can literally just be pocket kings plus sometimes. So, you know, it's understandable. I do know that at least one of those jacks folds were not correct.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean theoretically it's bad. It just means that, you know,
yeah.
someone took a good spot. So.
that was, I think that was that player that finished 3rd, folded the jacks. But in the end, we saw Lockie at his full powers last night.
Great to see it, yeah. He had a pretty dry WSOP like myself from what I recall. So it's always nice to just fly back home and just bing something and sort of have a delayed series set, I would call it. But, you know, really grinds everything. It's great to see him win a prestigious event like that. I know it means a lot to him. I saw him celebrating in his interview with Kath and just looking so happy. And it means a lot, I think, when you see the people who care a lot about winning. You know, there's the people who come in, they expect to get it done, they leave with the trophy, and, you know, it's just business as usual. And Krilly's a pro like that too, but you can tell that it means a lot to him. And there's a lot of people in that mold here in the room throughout this week that I think we're really rooting for. And yeah, he's just a lovely guy. And he's also doing well in our side competition on Facebook. If anyone's following APT Live, there's a sort of game show going on about the chip. Yeah,
Yes.
Kath's doing a great job there. Back to this hand. Zaming Zhu, better known as Ray, I believe, has opened the Jack-8 suited. Edwin's 3-bet Ace-Jack off and continued. Going to be interesting to see how he proceeds on the King of Diamonds turn here now, with Ray still having a flush draw. Okay, he's going to give it up. Got a fan of Yifang in the chat. Ray weighing up whether or not he can just check this back and realize his equity. Definitely worth a time bank. What kind of better hands can he get to fold right now? These are the kind of questions that are being asked in his head. Edwin holding the ace of spades will reduce the amount of these actual hands that he expects Ray to have. And he's gone for the jam. It's an interesting spot. Edwin's going to be asking himself, is he doing this with a 9? Does he have anything stronger than that on the flop that gets to here now? Can he even prove to any 2 pairs that include a king? Or is this just a flush draw? Is there a straight draw in here ever that I can just take down with ace high? Interesting spot. Obviously the ace of spades makes it much more tricky. I think if he wasn't holding the ace of spades, it would be in fast, but he's still going to find it, and I quite like the call, to be honest.
So here we go. You can see
The jack's dead for Ray, but we can still find the 8 or the spade, and that won't do
it's
it.
not a 10, so we lose another player.
Field is powering through, mate. This is going fast.
Played Ray. Down to 13 now.
Might see a table redraw here, I imagine. Yeah, we're going to need a 6-player, I believe.
So just be a short delay
Oh,
here.
sorry, I missed the Roman's already sitting there, so they might not.
Yes. No, they don't need to do that, so they probably won't. Just going on
Yep.
about...
Worth mentioning, we are on the stone bubble now, so the players will be trying to win $5,350. Thanks to our Twitch commenter, ex-Rennie James, for bringing that up, of course. Very important now. We're going to see a dynamic where the other table is going to have to finish their hand before we can play one here, as we're hand for hand, to make sure that things are fair for both of the tables and that no one's taking longer than each other. I want to make sure that the same amount of hands are played on both tables. So this is where we get to see the pressure put on, though, once we get back to this footage. Lots of players here who are well-versed in tournament poker and well-versed in putting on the pressure. So we'll see, obviously, that pressure put onto the 3 shorter stacks, Yifang, Jennifer, and Chu. And obviously, Edwin, Roman, and
whoever just walked into our camera, yeah. All right, they get a full round penalty.
That's a round penalty here at APT if you walk into the camera.
Oh, it might have actually been our
Pat.
TD.
All right, Pat, you're going to have a chat. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the bigger stacks leverage their advantage right now against the smaller stacks who are obviously trying to squeak into the bubble before they do anything. And, you know, looking at these payouts from 12th to 9th, they're somewhat flat. 53.50 for 12th, 5,600 for 10th and 11th, and then 6,500 the jump once they make it to the final table of 9. I think, you know, most players will be taking a strategy of trying to squeeze into the bubble there if they're one of the shorter stacks, and then obviously happy to open up and, you know, gamble a little bit when it feels like a $250 pay jump rather than a $5,350 one. Probably see a few of them moving around now as they wait for this hand to finish, though. So
Yeah,
forgive us if you get some close-ups.
Some close-ups, and what you
Some nicer than others.
the other
These are
bits
some nice ones.
you might find too is that players will be wandering around to the other table to check out chip stacks and see
you're
where they
going up,
sit
you can
with
Stand up
in
and
relation
obviously-
to the rest of the competitors.
Yeah. So long as it's fair and everyone can see it from both tables, that's fine. You know, obviously we want to make
If
sure
it was
that
updated on
one
everything that
table
day,
isn't
we would-
unduly being able to see the other. But so long as it's fair for the two tables, then sure.
Oh, you mean there is an option that we keep playing till we buzz the bubble and then we go in dinner break? Okay.
Just going back to last night,
All right.
I think
Let's
one
see
of
how it
the
goes.
real highs for Lockie Crilly too was winning the Drakakis ring. And I do know one of the first messages he sent was to our fellow commentator here, Jinxie, who's got a ring, and
Oh,
said,
does he?
I've got one too. So,
That's wonderful. I love that. Shout out to Jinxie.
of course, Braden.
Yep, saw him there in Vegas. We actually went date together in something, and we made day 3 of the Millionaire Maker together. He wasn't there for very long, so he did well.
He's finished up over in Europe somewhere
Yeah.
with his lovely.
I think we both died at the hands of Leo Margetts, who was the first female to final table the main event in the last 30 years.
Yeah, didn't she do well?
Basically, the only female in modern poker, I think is fair to say, to have ever FT'd the main event in its modern form. You know, it used to be a much smaller tournament in the 80s and 90s, so just a fantastic achievement. And she's a great player too.
And talking of great female players, we've got one coming in for the State of Origin, haven't we? Perhaps the greatest Australian female player
Are you referring
of
to
all time.
Jackie Glazier?
I am.
You are. Yeah, no, I'm incredibly honoured that she would take the time out of her schedule, especially before our friends up at the APL Million kickoff, which I know is very important to her as their ambassador. It means a lot that she would take the time out of her schedule to come down and support us in the year that we introduced the female roster slot to Origin. I'll get back to that in 1 second. We've got a hand
we've
cooking
got a
here.
real good hand cooking.
Yeah. Roman has opened the cutoff with Jack 8, and he's doing the thing that I just talked about. He's trying to leverage some pressure, probably against Jennifer in particular, and that's a consequence of her stack size, not that it's Jennifer herself, as holding 1.3 million. He feels like he's going to want to be able to put pressure on her as we approach the bubble, but seeing Angel get involved in their three-way is going to temper him a little bit. And does have the best hand with third pair here somehow.
Jennifer at 0% to win this. Because
The passive line might actually be almost a little bit more threatening here to Roman. You know, he'll be afraid of some Queen X that would peel out of the small blind, I think especially from Angel that hasn't taken the initiative by now. If Angel misses here, okay, this is interesting. I'd be very curious to see if he goes for it now against two streets of check from both parties. I think he would know that he's getting through Jennifer, but can he get through Roman? Roman's going to have slightly more protected range. You know, he's still got hands as strong as like a bad queen or 10s, 9s, etc., which can easily call off one bet here. So Angel's probably cooking up how big he needs to go if he needs to get this done. Let's see.
it's like 200 or she's
Looks like he's gone big,
210,
which
yeah.
is sort of what I expected. I thought it would be either at least pot or an overbet, and now Roman's he's in a tricky decision. You know, Angel is completely uncapped here. You know, like what kind of holding can Angel not have? You know, he could have decided to want to check raise the turn with pretty much any two pair here. There's not a lot of air actually. This is basically it. Because, you know, even something like Ace Jack might just want to get to showdown and check. So, yeah, you're not going to find too many bluffs from Angel. I think Roman's probably going to bin this, but we'll see. He also is holding a jack, which is very relevant because when he's looking for the bluffs and sort of saying, okay, it's going to be Jack 10, look down, have a jack in your hand. Not great, mate.
good bit of play there.
Yeah, well played by Angel.
really summing up the circumstances as well. As you say, we're on the bubble, and that just changed things a bit.
Yeah, he almost got in the way of Roman's plans, you can say there. Like, and again, I'm just talking about stack size versus stack size, but the 2.9 of Roman against the 1.2 of Jennifer was definitely the primary idea for something like that. And then Angels just said, nope, I'm getting involved here. And it does change things for Roman, as we saw.
Probably don't need much commentary when you're sitting and watching this to be able to pick out who the professional players are as well. It was a very professional.
Well, I think even
play.
the recreationals or people who, you know, have jobs outside of poker who are playing a 2.5K, they know their stuff, you know.
Oh, yes.
They're at the very least very strong poker enthusiasts. Sorry. And I'm sure if we look at the other table, there's probably going to be some pretty good examples of that too. This is an interesting one. I think Chu's just going to defend this. King Jack a little too good to not just realize. Two legit hands though, hijack versus big blind. Chu flopping the gutter. Backdoor hearts as well. There's no way we'll see a fold from him immediately. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if Romain c-bets here as well. A lot of our under pairs are just going to want to continue. Chu's range is going to be folding a lot to this as well. Obviously, Romain's going to have a lot of the better hands most of the time. Just expect another call from Chu most of the time.
Yeah, 40k
but he may
is
get
probably
spicy on the turn.
Yeah, it's sort of worth peeling one off here for 40, isn't it?
Yeah, small bet. We can still realize he can still actually have the best hand, which is also very relevant. But yeah, when we start missing on these, it gets very interesting to see how the high-level players operate, because now we need to sort of have Romain find a second barrel with sixes, and you know there are hands like Jack 10 and King 10 and stuff like that. He'll be slightly worried about realizing. Most of the time, he's just going to be behind though.
And there it goes.
Yeah, I think this will probably just go check now. It was a kind of tame run out in the end. Roman's still very capable of value betting an ace on the flop and just checking back on the turn, so unless he finds a very spicy bluff here, I think it's going to be over.
It's a reluctant check too. And he sort of knew, didn't he?
I hated the river.
Yeah, it kind of sucks if you get shown a queen by Chu, but when he sees this exact hand, I think you'll know that he had little chance of getting it through without doing something pretty big.
Probably needed a bet there on the turn, didn't he? He sort of gave him two free cards to have a look at.
Yeah, I think he played it well, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I would have played the hand the same.
Well, you'll never hear me criticising hands. That's not my job here.
I'll try. I'll say something spicy here,
that's why. No, man. That's why you're here.
Roll up the sleeves, Harvey. It's
that's why you're here.
Damn Anthill for his next 10. Come on, Anthill.
I'm here to hold this all together. So just a reminder that we're going hand for hand here, so that's why we're having a little gap between hands. Just wait for the hand on the other table to finish. We're on the bubble. I also think we're probably pretty close to a break. I've got a 15-minute break here, and then
probably only something like 7 hands or something then, if they're timing the break as I expect them to. I think they do 2 minutes per hand or something. They take it off the clock. Yeah, some well-known players on the other table right now. Joe Sandev, who won the vault, South Australian vice captain. Dennis Huntley,
who's always
the
fun.
man, the myth, the legend.
Good man. Chu has picked up the ace king. Small blind here. Yeah, Dennis is fun, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Chu's probably going to find something like 275 here, I would imagine. Maybe a little smaller, 250, something like that. And Jennifer will just be done with it. Yeah, 300.
Oh, no, we're not done with it.
Oh, we're not done with it at all. In fact, we are far from that, my friend. Yep. I think it's very simple from here. All in, Jennifer will fold, Stephen will call, and we are off to the races. And it's two quite interesting stacks to interact with, right? Because both of them are going to be, or whoever wins this hand will be feeling like they have a lot of chips, and the other will be basically out.
And out without any money, which is just the worst.
But I feel like, ladies and gentlemen, if Chu were to win that flip, this is going to be the bubble burster. Of course, there may be another hand going on at the same time, but here we go.
So,
Stephen Chu and Yifeng Zhang. I know Sherry Fang sweating for Yifeng there. All of South Australia with their the head in their hands.
Pocket jacks are at
Stephen. Here we go.
Flop is 3 spades.
Nothing for the ace king there. He's got the backdoor ace of spades though. 4 of spades would be the fun card on the turn. 2 or 4 of spades if you want the real sweat. No, looks very good for jacks. He's just gonna have to fade the ace to the king. And he does fade.
The 4 of clubs.
Yifeng doubles up.
Chu's still got 18 bigs, you know. He's not going to be going anywhere too soon. And honestly, I probably wouldn't trust anyone in this entire room more with 18 big blinds than Stephen Chu, if I'm quite honest. So, not over for him. It would have been over for Yifeng, but it'd be interesting to see if we can get any kind of update on the other stacks on the other table, because that's going to really dictate how Stephen proceeds.
You're happy with the not super snap, right?
Super snap. Feature table obviously up on a stage, so they do have the benefit of being able to swing their head around and see what's going on the other table.
6, 9, 1 million, 25.
A very unlucky one for Chu. He would have been, honestly, I think the favourite to take this out if he'd reached up to that 2 milli mark, there or thereabouts, a little bit over. Currently coaching for BBZ Poker Online.
Oh, even better.
A lot of his students rave about him.
It was mentioned yesterday, we did get someone in the chat ask, who do you recommend as a poker coach? And
poker coach? If he's available, yeah, and you play online, Stephen's definitely one of the premier ones in the world, I would say. I can say the world, because once he's at the top of Australia, that means we're allowed to say world.
What do you think of the venue?
I absolutely love it. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never heard of the Bella Vista Hotel. Came in completely naked, I guess you could say, and just a really lovely entrance, really lovely bistro, good food. It's spacious. You know, I think like my pet peeve personally is when I have to walk through a poker room and you're bumping into someone, you're squeezing behind someone's chair who's playing, and it's just kind of nice and open and spacious. And I feel like even when we've had, you know, the 150 people coming through each day for the Mid-Stakes Championship, like, there's a lot of room. I never feel like there's big lines, there's lots of staff, and there's table service as well. So the dinner breaks aren't actually as important maybe at other places, because you can just get the food to the table, so it's nice. I have a sneaky suspicion that this might potentially be somewhat of a continuing home for APT in Sydney. I have that in my heart.
Yeah, well, look, I don't think anyone really knew what to expect. I came here for a bit of a site visit, and this area was still being renoed, so it's pretty new.
Yeah, I haven't actually been to this area much, even though I'm a Sydney local, and you know, it only took me about half an hour to get over from home. I thought it would be a little bit further. It wasn't, and just a dream, honestly. Really nice.
Just a little.
I can't believe it existed without me knowing about it, actually, I should say.
It's one of those new suburbs that they put really fancy names to.
Yeah.
Bella Vista. So we're just going to have a re-deal there. That was just a slight misdeal. not only the room here, which everyone can see, obviously, but what a great sports bar they've got around the back there. And
Yeah. They're doing big things here, Harvey. I saw that Will Sparks is he's playing next week.
Next week.
They do a great job of reformatting this into the poker room, but if you were to be standing behind Edwin right now and you looked up, there is a big disco ball in the middle, and I can tell that they're getting ready for the next event after us in that sense, or they're already prepared. Or, you know, if someone really loose wins this tournament, then, you know we've got the option.
In fact, it wasn't a misdeal. He just went a bit early because the table wasn't ready yet. So if you are in
sorry,
Sydney.
my friend has just given me a small clarification.
Yeah.
The shoe doesn't coach for BBZ, it's for Bit B. Sorry, got my B's mixed up.
Bit
But
B.
apologies to Bit B, you know. Don't want them to be sold down the river there.
I was just going to say, if you are in the Sydney area and watching, get down. It's a great place to play poker. We have a massive weekend. So come in and play a satellite here for as little as a couple of $100. Way up to main event, which is that is going to be huge.
Can't wait, mate. I think we might actually exceed that 400k guarantee, you know.
From what we've seen so far, I would say absolutely.
If I go well beyond it, you know, I'd love to see someone turn 1,500 into, like, you know, 100 grand plus. You know, that's the stuff dreams are made of.
Angel.
All right, so there's little delays between hands. Gives us a chance here to chew the fat. Again, we've just got that delay because we're going hand for hand here. Everyone picking up King Jack suited.
Not the first time we've seen this exact setup with Roman limping the small blind and Edwin isolating him from the big blind with a decent candidate, King Jack suited.
I'll show you since you're going to see later anyway.
One that could check back sometimes, to be honest.
What was the first one then?
Nah. No comment. Nah, I had an ace the other one.
No comment? Oh, you had an ace?
I'm going to give the bistro a go in a few minutes when we get our little break coming up.
Better than an
Yeah.
ace? Just 2 aces?
No, I didn't. An ace is better than Jack King.
Oh, technically, yeah, fair enough.
Some choices here. Everyone's recommending the prawn dumplings. So don't know if you've tried those yet, but
A lot to experiment with here on the menu.
we get a lot of people watching the stream who are actually here. So if you've got any suggestions, hop into the chat. We've had something special. Packed here last night. That trivia night in the sports bar last night was
What's popping off? I saw that, yeah.
going nuts.
They take it very seriously there, I
They
noticed.
was, yes.
Someone was questioning like a ruling by the poor person running the game. Very serious trivia here at the Bella Vista.
Yes, I walked through. It was 80s pop.
Well, you have to take
I
that extremely seriously,
Well, I
you
tell
know,
you what, I nearly sat down. I was banging my wheelhouse. That is.
Yeah, it's funny being a 90s kid. I think I'm pretty good with like 80s music because, you know, that's what's like pumping as you grow up. But yeah. Roman's turn for the King Jack. I think Angel's just going to defend here. Nice hand.
Paying roughly like $2 million.
I want to see a jack.
Okay, roughly the same.
The viewers want blood. They probably do want to see a jack. I think this would be a very simple check bet fold. Easy continue for Roman, especially with the jack of diamonds here. Gutter over. See you later, Angel. I should say, just for people, because I do get asked this on the stream, I do my very best to say his name as it is supposed to be said. However, he absolutely has no problem being called Angel. I know his very famous partner, Lynn Gilmartin, always calls him Angel, which I think is very sweet, and a lot of people have copied that, so affectionately known as Angel on the scene here. I do try and call him Angel.
I did come on and say that in Australia he's Angel. He's told me that.
Yep.
So,
well, I think he's a bit like me, you know, like we prefer the nicknames to be said rather than a poor version of the real name, you know. I struggle with the Australian accent on mine in particular sometimes.
How do we get Didier wrong? What do we
Did ya? You know, there's some strong Australianisms
no,
there. You
Didier
know?
is good.
So, you know, I prefer Dids or D or something like that if they don't feel capable, but you know, Didier or Didier is...
I'm just going to tell you there that would have been a misread on the cards there, because there's no way to choose folding sevens in that spot, so...
It's actually possible.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's actually possible on the bubble here with 17 bigs. Those kind of pairs like 5s, 6s, and 7s, I would not be surprised if that was actually his real hand. It's very hard to proceed.
I forgot there that we're on the bubble and you're playing completely differently.
Bricker's 10, no, that works after hours, mate. We're getting naughty now. But yeah, no, I know that actually looks quite interesting to the naked eye to see Chu fold 7s there, but on the stone bubble, I think it's actually a pretty difficult hand to proceed with.
No, fair. And there was an ace-king after that, so he certainly would have got some action.
The board reads and just reads of what people pick up. More important. Yeah, very awkward stack depth. 18 big blinds on the stone bubble to play a hand like 7s from under the gun. If he was in later position, of course he would have played it.
Who was?
Yeah, Zodagon, I just talked about that a little bit. It's definitely a factor of the stage of the tournament where he's at, and considering the post-flop playability of a hand with 18 big blinds from under the gun, if you get to post-flop. And I would also imagine there's probably stacks on the other table that are going to influence that decision. Unfortunately, I don't have the stack sizes of the other table, but to make that example more simple would be to say if there's someone with less than 550k, Chu might consider it a bit of a disaster to be opening up the risk while that person can bust. So definitely matters to know what the other table is. Obviously, I think all of those tables are quite close together, so they would have a good idea of that. Also, he's probably the best online poker player in this country, so I'm probably not going to question him too much from this seat. Yep, that's the succinct description by Brickers there on Twitch. I write that.
Well, it's the same question I asked, so fair enough.
No, yeah. I think it's a very fair question, and that's a great example of what you said earlier, Harvey. You know, this is a great place to learn. That's sort of one of those more very finicky spots, I guess you could call
Yeah.
it. It's a really tournament spot, if I had to call it something like that. And if you're someone who's a great cash game player, a really good cash game player, you probably wouldn't necessarily be immediately thinking about these things when you're not used to playing at these sort of different stack depths, short stack, medium stack, with all different stacks around you and being on the bubble. You know, most of the time people would just say, this is a great hand, I'm going to open.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots to think about in these situations that show why some of these people have made the money that they have in poker. Not sure how many hands there's going to be left before this dinner break. I would guess probably 3 or 4, but could depend if we burst the bubble or not.
Next and we'll see.
So we're off again.
Stephen might have followed sevens before, but I can tell you he'll definitely be playing this one. Kind of interesting spot between min raise or jam. Sort of these better offsuit hands do like to jam in more of a scenario that doesn't involve ICM and, you know, the bubble. But I think he's just going to be opening with 2 big blinds, yeah. Yifeng making a disciplined fold with a very attractive hand. Romain will definitely defend this. Queen 3 suited, you're going to have plenty of equity against pretty much anything.
Yeah. No, if I look down at suited connectors there in the small blind, I'm calling.
Yeah, you're calling the 7-6 Harvey.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a good thing he didn't, but
I think the correct play may have been to proceed with a 3-bet or fold. So call may have been the most difficult option post-flop coming from the small blind for Yifeng. And recognizing that and the fact that Chu sort of has a stack where he's a little bit committed against as well means that the 3-bet kind of gets deleted, so I can understand it. And as played, would have been a difficult flop to proceed on. Chu's going to continue here. Romain has bottom pair. No backdoors or anything. I would expect he takes off 1.
it's just 40k.
Yep. Chu's going to be taking this size with pretty much everything that he continues with. Type of things that will be going through Stephen's head now after Romain invariably checks will be, you know, what kinds of ace-X could Romain have that just call from the big blind when I'm opening off a fairly short stack that would see a lot of Romain's best hands just jam. This is an interesting lead. Didn't necessarily expect this. I think what Romain would be thinking is that on an ace-high board, when it goes check, bet, call, he's representing that he sort of has something on a board that realistically has no draws aside from like really weird stuff like deuce 4, which now makes a straight. And he thinks that he's going to have the nut advantage in some capacity there. And it's going to get the job done against Chu, against his exact hand.
It's a good little bet because I suppose you're imagining that if he's got it, if Chu's got it, he's jamming there and you've only just lost 50k. And if he hasn't got it, then he might be getting some chips for a very small investment, and that's what happened in the end there. So, but like you say, interesting line, probably not what you were expecting. Certainly played a lot of hands, Romain. We've seen him in. If our VPIP comes up, I'm going to assume he's going to be right up the top there.
Romain also was living in a house with Cooper and Creeley and a couple of the other guys in Vegas this summer. A lot of online play. You know, I can hardly imagine seeing Romain not in this orange Calvin Klein jumper. That's how much I've seen it over the last 2 months. But He was doing very well online. Always had his iPad around when he was playing live, trying to do both at the same time. Jennifer's open, but we don't have the hand quite yet.
Not yet. Well, again, sometimes the graphics just get stuck a little bit, but they do catch up. There you go.
Yeah, we've got King Jack opening, and that's just going to take it. Oh, sorry. Edwin has defended 8-4 off. Nice flop for Jennifer with the open ender. Going to be an easy takedown against the 8-4 off.
I was told that they finally incorporated some online entries for the WSOP. That I went over 2 years ago, and all I remember was the huge queues to enter every event. So did that work a little bit better?
The app was fantastic. I have to admit, in all my years of going there, I think I've been 7 times now. That was the best experience in terms of registering tournaments and getting into tournaments, and I think that opened up the fields to be as big as they were as well, because people heard about the convenience. So definitely have to respect the job that WSOP have put into the WSOP Plus app, and the ability to just, you know, be in my hotel room and register a tournament, be told where to go without having to line up or pay is definitely the future of poker. And without giving too much away, I know Mr. Tony Hasham has some thoughts. I don't know if plans would be too strong a word.
No. Well,
plans?
I think
you're nodding plans at me if it's...
Yeah, well, we sort of dipped the toe in the water in Melbourne, you know, with that, actually registering and buying your entry, as opposed to, rocking up and putting your money down, and that worked really well.
So I wasn't sure.
I have to say, I couldn't believe, being in Vegas 2 years ago, how bad that was. Like how far behind that felt.
Yeah.
You actually manually had to go in.
Yeah, I want my
WSOP does do not always the best job by the players. So to see that improvement was very, I was very thankful.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough operation, because if you go to any of the other casinos, say I go to play an event at the Wynn or the Venetian or the Aria, a lot of their staff are contracted, so they have a contract for the year or longer, and they're well trained. But the WSOP have to bring in dealers from pretty much every corner of the earth to try and get so many to cover the foot traffic that they have, and invariably a lot of them have only just learnt the game of poker or Hold'em, and it can be a testing experience. I nearly started dealing my own pots here during an all-in, and I remembered I had someone fantastic like Jacob, the dealer, on screen here to do it all for me. And it's kind of nice to come back to Australia. You feel like the quality of dealing is actually like 11 out of 10 compared to America. And if you haven't been there, you might expect the opposite, quite frankly.
No, I saw that too. But again, it's exactly as you say. There's just so many that there's no way you can get that many experienced dealers into one place. So
yeah. I've watched a lot of pots be pushed to the losing hand accidentally over the last 2 months, and I haven't seen it this week. So it's nice to be back.
Definitely a shout out to our dealers and our TDs. Do an incredible job.
6-3. Right, he said it's lucky. I don't know. It feels like it's an 8, and there was a 6 in his end.
Just hearing a bit in the background, that's still Didier's leftovers from Vegas. It's still just hanging in your system.
Yeah, they say after you get bronchitis, the cough kind of like lingers for like a couple of months. But don't worry, the doctor said I'm fully allowed to rejoin society. I have my note.
Yes, good.
I haven't got one of those since high school.
See if Diddy is going to make a play at this.
Me? I would try.
Angel, probably. No, you would have. Yes, you would have. You probably would have taken it down. But Edwin just with the 4.
Hard to have too much there. I kind of respect Daniel giving up.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, not like, I'll take a stand right now with any end. Like, I think he goes, alright.
I like seeing the smile on Armand Van Wyck's face there. He's just standing up in the background as he comes to register what looks like the main event. The drink in his hand. my goal on Saturday is to make sure everyone from the South Australian team, which Armon is on, always has a drink in their hand.
Good.
You know, I think the rest of the field are with me on that. Such is the strength of the lineup they're bringing this year. You know, Jonathan Karamelikis, former full tilt pro, Australian Hall of Famer. Joe Sandev, South Australian Hall of Famer, won the vault this week. Stephen Chu, one of the best online players ever from Australia, on stream now. James Obst, I mean, I don't know where to start with James. I feel very honoured that my friend's coming to join us, especially after a big summer. He had 15 cashes at the WSOP this year.
Isn't it?
2 bracelets, and he's, of course, the reigning WPT Australia champion. Some other fantastic names on that team. Their icon, Pierre Ukar, I didn't realize this when they signed him up. He's the only player with 2 State of Origin titles in the entire field this year. The South Australian icon, Pierre Ukar. He won it in 2008, 2010, so that's very strong. Their female player is Michaela McPherson, who's the ambassador for Gambier Poker in South Australia. And Armon, who I was just leading in with this, is one of the most consistent Australians in the Australasia region. He regularly travels up to Asia and just crushes them. I always see him final tabling stuff. So
Anyone who follows our streams would have seen him plenty in the Australian Poker Tour.
Yeah.
I love the innovation of bringing a girl in to each team. I think
I'm super excited
great.
about it. I think seeing Jennifer here, seeing Ling and
wasn't she great last
Ling
night?
and Phoebe on the Drakakis FT is that it makes me feel like we're doing the right thing, not for the sake of doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing in terms of actually making poker look like poker. And the more that we have females making open event final tables, the more necessary it is. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's,
Forgive me, Edwin has open and choose jammed A7 suited. And this could be the bubble.
I really do need the luck.
And it's very likely going to be the bubble. Edwin holding the King of Diamonds makes things tricky unless Chu can find a 7 here. And that is a very bad fluff for Chu. Edwin now with the nut flush draw. That's almost all she wrote.
he's got a few outs there,
You
though.
can chop now.
For a chop, yeah.
Nope. That is the end of Stephen Chu. Shame not to see him go deeper with his pedigree, but Angel's very happy to go to dinner, as I can see, as they all throw on and romance.
And so am I, to be honest with you. We've got about a 15-minute break. We're coming back.
Poor Chu.
Cheering. That is a 45-minute dinner break. Sorry. Just getting that on the screen. That's even better. I might be able to get a Palmer.
All the players are guaranteed $5,350, and they're in the final 12 of the Goliath, one of the biggest events in APT this week.
What a perfect time. So just depending on who's wandering around, we may be lucky enough to get Didier back with us. Otherwise, I'll have another luminary with me here after a 45-minute break. Enjoy your dinner at home, or
Thanks,
if you're anywhere else in the world, perhaps your breakfast or your lunch. And we'll see you back in 45 as this works its way through to a final table. 67K on top.
Good luck.